huge new things that are now in the game. So, because now the Nemesis is over, they released out this new patch. And whenever it goes to a bigger number like this, that means it's a lot bigger changes that are happening in the game. This specifically, they're talking about how all of this stuff is going to be in the final TI that's going to happen in Romania in October.
Can we watch it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, first things first, they changed how captain mode works. So that is how the pros pick their people for like who gets to pick which hero first.
Yeah, I thought like they did one, you wait for the other, the guy comes up, does their taunt.
Yep. Now they changed it. Instead of 1-2-1-2, it's 1-2-2-1.
I mean that okay, I can see that. So if Dire picks first, then Radiant picks second.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's wait, isn't that this? Oh.
So assuming Radiant is first pick, it goes 1-2-1-2-1-2 is how it always went. Now it's 1-2-1-1-2.
That's a little why.
So I think it's supposed to give Radiant more of an advantage then?
That's kind of stupid. Why would you want to give the other team?
Wait, yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense at all.
Radiant Dire, Radiant Dire. I'm not sure. I'll have to look more into this and I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Girlfriend asking all the hard questions.
Yeah. There is multiple critical strike procs now have been changed. So it doesn't mean too much. It's just that it's going to you're going to have more crits in a row, or you're less likely to have multiple crits in a row and multiple attacks without a crit. So it makes things look more even, essentially. It's just more of like an aesthetic change. But it results in the same DPS, so. Cooldown percentage reduction no longer stacks. So that's huge. So anything like Octarine Core and combined with, like if you had multiple Octarine Cores, they do not stack anymore. But sources of flat cooldown reduction still stack. So that's like neutral items and things. This is a big change here. Increase the HP regen of all heroes from 0 to 0.25. So now every hero automatically regenerates HP. And even though it's only 0.25, which is a very low amount, that means it's going to be drastically changing how much health items you need to bring into a lane. So you might not need like a ring protection anymore.
Whoa.
Or one less tango or something like that. Water runes are reducing in half by the amount of HP they heal. Second Roshan no longer drops cheese. That's also huge. So now you have to kill...
There's no longer, you don't need to do Roshan twice, it feels like now.
Correct. And so now whoever gets the second Roshan doesn't have a huge advantage because they get the cheese. Now, neutral creeps now drop 5 neutral items per tier. So those little trinkets that you get, instead of only dropping 4 per tier, it's now dropping 5 per tier.
Okay.
So that's huge because now it reduces the randomness of it and also changes how much you can actually have.
Got it.
So there's a couple things here that have changed for the items, and some are good, some are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest thing that everyone wanted to see was a change to Aeon Disc, and this is good, I think. So the bonus HP is reduced. And then the Aeon Disc cooldown increases by 20 seconds every time it triggers, up to 165 seconds. So the biggest problem is that it triggered too many times in a fight, and then people were becoming invincible during that, essentially. Now it keeps increasing the more it's being used.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a pretty good choice. We'll see if how everyone responds to it. Abyssal Blade got a little bit of buff, so that's good. Etherlands got nerfed a slight tad, not too bad though. Arcane Blink does more cooldown reduction because they removed the other cooldown reduction. So I think we're going to see more...
Ooh, Arcane Boots, that's nice.
Yeah, replacing mana restored increased by 15. Very, very nice. Bottles got hurt a lot. So not only does it heal less health and mana, it takes longer to heal too.
So did Enchanted Mangoes.
Yep. Well, actually, sorry. Enchanted Mango actually got a buff because it's the cost itself of it.
Okay.
It is not the actual. The mango still stays the same.
Oh, the Yules.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Yule's got reduced, but that's also probably, I thinking, because of the arcane boots.
Wonder why they did this.
So from what they were saying was that there was too many people that were there was too much mana going around. That everyone had too much mana to use abilities and stuff.
Got it.
And so they're trying to limit the amount that you can use. Falcon Blade got increased, which is good. No one really used it. Gleipnir got changed, so now the projectile increases even faster. We're going to see a lot more of that now. Helm of the Overlord completely changed now. Now it requires a Vladimir's Offering, so it reduces all this other stuff. No one ever used it. That's why they changed it. Now I can see it getting some actual use in the system, but we'll see. Hurricane Pike was being used a lot, and they buffed it up way more. I don't know about this one. I don't like it personally. I think it's going to cause more issues. But we'll have to see. Then we have Mage Slayer. So now it's completely changed. It went from 3250 to 2400. And now, okay, it still has its debuff. Good. So this was really good against like Lion, Lena, anyone that Crystal Maiden. But it wasn't really used. Now that it grants magic resistance, I can see it being used all the time now. Routed Ace Host is pretty much the same. Sanj, the status resistance is reduced to 12%. So that means that people that were getting it to make their tanks more buffy are going to be not using it as much.
People's builds are going to really change.
Oh, people's builds are going to dramatically change now. Because also, Sentry Wards...
I feel like my Crystal Maiden, though, is going to be pretty...
We'll see. I'll show you.
Okay.
There may be something now that you have to change. Silver Edge has been completely reworked. Now, now it uses a Chrysalis. So now the total cost decreased by about 350. And now it grants 60 damage, 40 attack speed, and 30% chance of critical hit. Attacking breaking out of invisibility now guarantees a 100% 60 crit with 175 bonus damage. You can kill Crystal Maiden in one hit now with this. Yeah. It's...
Dumb. Not Christina Maiden, not Christina Maiden. She's a tank.
Yeah. Smoke and Deceits are now increased from max stack from 2 to 3, so we're going to see more people using those. You haven't really seen them in our games.
Yeah.
But basically what it does is that normally a support unit buys it, and then everyone stands next to each other.
Oh, it's like when you Roshan.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. You've seen it a few times.
It makes everybody invisible.
Yeah.
I've seen it. The pros use it. Like
Yeah.
Evil Geniuses use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. The Witchblade, they changed it a little bit. It now does 0.75 times your int.
There's no more Ironwood Tree?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting to that. So, yep. So, duration have increased from 3 seconds to 4 seconds, though. So, overall, it does more damage. And so, I'm kind of okay with that. Now, neutral items. Where
Every recipe in Dota requires an Ironwood Tree.
No. That's an iron branch.
Oh, never
So
Sorry.
Ironwood Tree is the trinkets that makes that big GG bush.
Okay, yeah.
So these are all the trinkets that have been removed from the game now. Faded Brooch, which was really good, is gone now. This gave you 6
People's builds are. I gotta do a bot match with a new build first before we go into a game.
Imp Claw is gone. I really liked it. Illusionist Cape, I'm glad that's gone. That was way too strong. If you got that and Terrorblade was in your game, you might as well just end. Because that thing increases all of his damage by 6%. And that's crazy. Ballista was finally removed. I hated that item. I'm very happy about that one.
It looks like Wind Ranger people used to use Ballista.
Yes.
So those people's builds are really going to change.
Mm-hmm. Now this one was also...
people are mad about it.
Some people are mad, some people are happy. I've been reading up some stuff on Reddit, and we'll see. But now there's new items. So here's the pig pull.
That's weird.
It turns your hero into a pig and gives him 10% movement speed.
Okay.
So that seems fun. Tumblr's toy is like a little bit of a blink dagger. It kind of lets you like pole vault your way forward, but only if you have not been hit in 3 seconds.
Okay.
Briggins Blade is really strong. So now your attacks deal 7 more damage to enemies for each 10% of health that they're missing. So in one hit, you can deal an additional 63 damage if they're at 10% health.
Wow.
It's really good for Ricky, Bounty Hunter, things like that. Now there's a Fey Grenade. It gives you movement speed, and then you can toss it at an enemy, and it applies a debuff that deals damage to them all, and provides vision for the target. And you're fine. Now you have Blast Rig, which the next time you get attacked by a hero, it explodes and deals damage to everyone. Aesthetic Cap. This is what everyone hates so far, from what I've been reading. Basically, everyone doesn't like that Eon Disc because it grants you a huge status resistance.
Right.
Now this is an item that every 30 seconds it grants you that status resistance.
Oh.
So it's going to cause a lot of problems for people. Give me just a second here. Okay. This one's cool. So this one can purge everyone, so they can all remove ability like Axe's Taunt or something like that. But the big thing on it, your attacks deal bonus damage equal to 4% of your target's max mana. Oh, it's of your target. Okay. This one we won't see much, but it grants everyone huge magic resistance. But it's a tier 5 item, so you have to play the game for 60 minutes, and then it'll finally spawn. They reduced Chip Vest a little bit. Fairy Trinket was reduced a little bit. Possessed Mask is almost useless now. Instead of doing 7% of your health, it's now only 7 HP. Dig cooldown was reduced, so that actually makes it way better. Chanted Quiver, bonus damage was decreased, that's good. But its cooldown was decreased, so that might actually be worth it. Debuff is no longer visible if enemies don't have a vision of its holder. Debuff is no longer visible if enemies... Oh, okay. That actually helps it a lot. So it allows you to hide from enemies. Before, if you just walked into the range, you would know they're there because you're getting the debuff.
Got it.
Flicker now blinks in place instead of just blinking into a random direction. Spider legs, they really screwed over. Now it does not give you boots. Since it's no longer considered a boot, it works well with boots, but before you were able to remove your boots and just go with spider legs.
Got it.
Stormcrafter is fine. Fallen Sky, meh. Who cares? Now, they have some huge changes in everyone. Every single person in this match got changed. But I'm not going to go through every single one because we'll spend like hours just sitting here going through this. And I know that's not what everyone wants to watch. Thank you for the biddies.
Before we get on to hero changes, a word from our Corgu sponsors.
Get Corgus.
That's because my baby got me chicken nuggets today.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple things that I saw that were cool. Abaddon didn't change much. Alchemist, they made him slightly better, but nothing too much. Ancient Apparition did a little bit better. The cooldown was increased, which
You
hurts
should
him.
probably do Arc Warden for She Got Mad to see how bad or good he is now.
Oh, I can't. I'm not good with him. They changed him a lot though too.
No, I meant like telling the changes that happened to
Oh yes,
because that is some people's primary hero.
Yep. So they did a lot of talent changes. So now everyone's talents do a lot of different things. So instead of giving him 40 attack speed, it's only 40 attack speed in the magnetic field. That really hurts him. And instead of 100% plus 100 attack range, plus 40 flux damage per second. Not as good. They removed Axe's Shard, finally. So now you're not going to see the Axe Manta style build anymore. Bane got huge buffs, and I'm definitely going to be playing him now. So, mana reduced on one of his most powerful abilities, so that's great. Also, the cast range increased. Nightmare now deals pure damage per second to enemy Nightmare targets. Before it dealt nothing. So now you can kill someone if they have 150. It can do 150 damage on someone. Oh no, 7 times 30. So they can do 270 damage to someone and put them to sleep the entire time.
Got it.
Wow. So you can knock out half of, or like a quarter of Crystal Maiden's health, and she can't do anything for 7 seconds. Real strong. And the cast point reduced. Not that big of a deal, but nice. Beastmaster, they changed a little bit on the Wild Hawk. It doesn't really do too much though, since they debuffed him so much from the previous ones. They were trying to help him a bit. That's not going to do much. Thirst is now changed, so now that allows him to heal for half the amount on denies, so that's good. Also, they increased the Blood Rage and Rupture talents, but they did remove the 15% lifesteal. It seems like they remove lifesteal on every single talent, which really sucks. So now people aren't going to survive as long in fights anymore. Bounty Hunter, they completely changed. I like it. I want to see it. So now his Shuriken cooldown went from 8 to 5, and it does way less damage now, but also costs way less mana. Cast range gets better over time, and the Sepper range is even better now. Track will now also cause the Shuriken toss to deal extra damage. So it goes back to the original damage or more compared to what it once was. So they also added all these different changes now. So now he has 50% track bonus move speed to allies, very nice. Track now grants ground vision around the target, and you can now get 2 Shuriken toss charges. It's very strong. He's now changed from like this sneaking hero to that just goes behind the back lines and kills the supports, to now tracking the entire team and then throwing shurikens like crazy at the enemies to bounce all across them and deal massive damage.
Wow.
So it's interesting. I like him. I like the changes they did. Brew, they did all this stuff for Void. That's only if you get the Agnum Scepter for him. So, meh. But they did increase his dodge chance, so that's good. Bristleback, they changed a bit. Now he's a bit weaker, but it's not going to change too much. Broodmother, they changed a lot. So I'm going to have to completely rechange my build now. So before, when I was on a spider web, it granted me extra movement speed. And that's the move increase from 18, 30, 42 to 54. Okay? Now, it only gives me that movement speed if I am at 100% health. If I'm only at 50% health, then I only get 50% of that movement speed increase. So before, when I would get really low health, pop my BKB, and then be able to run away, I can't do that anymore.
Got it.
I can pop my BKB, but now I won't get away because I won't have the bonus movement speed. And it applies to my spiderlings too. So that's and it applies at 0% when my unit is at 20% health or less. So it's not even like I can be almost a quarter dead and I have no movement speed left. So now I think I need to get boots on her almost every game. That's gonna suck. Spawn Spiderlings got debuffed. It increases more mana, which sucks because she already has problems with mana, and the damage got reduced. So now I can't do it to kill heroes as easily. And they completely removed my scepter. So before the scepter gave me 18 web charges, so I was able to run across the world. Now I have a 900 width invisible web line that takes 2 seconds to form, and it's vector targeted, which means it's global. So that is good, but we'll see. So now enemy heroes that cross that line will make it visible, and then they become rooted for 100% of the slow, and they receive 400 damage for 4 seconds total. Broodmother's team is notified in the minimap when someone is tripped, and they can trip. Multiple people can trip over it in those 2 seconds, but illusions do not. And 5 can be cast, but they can't be overlapping each other. So, oh nope, sorry, not global. They changed that. Okay, so the cast range is now 600, so I have to be there. So it like traps the heroes, and it's good for setting up like ambushes, but the whole thing with her scepter was movability around the entire map. Now you're kind of stuck.
Oh boy.
Yep. So.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, someone already deleted it. Thank you. Oh, give me just a second here. My thing's acting up now. Show up and immediately there's a bot. Yep. And now the bot message is stuck on my screen for some reason. I think they're following me. Okay. Okay, great. So, yeah, so I was just talking about how we got the new patch out, and they've completely reworked Broodmother, so it kind of sucks. I don't know if I really like it, but I'll have to see how it goes eventually. So I'll have to play a game with her tonight. They also changed the spiders' attack damage, which made them super strong against enemy heroes, to now only plus 50% spiders' damage to buildings.
Oh wow!
So now she's changed from being able to kill heroes to only being able to kill buildings. So I mean, now that's her main goal, anyways. But I don't know. That's not even that big of a rework. It's just straight nerfs and then a rework of just the scepter. Right? Yeah. But the scepter was kind of something that I was going to get every game now, so it kind of really sucks because like she basically lost her big movement now, especially, but it's also because now I don't have a way to escape anymore, because if I pop BKB and I'm only at 20% health, I have 0% movement speed. So even when I'm at 50% health, I'm still only getting like 40% of the movement speed increase, so I'll never be able to run away from fights anymore. So that really sucks.
I think if we go over every single hero, we're gonna be here all night, baby.
Oh, I know. I'm just only going over the highlights. Chaos Knight, they removed his cleave. Now he can't cleave anymore. I don't want to play him anymore.
Oh.
If they since they removed his cleave, he can't farm anymore, and I have to buy a Battle Fury. Yeah, you have to get better at anticipating ganks and leading before they get to. Yeah. So we'll see.
Let's see Crystal Maiden.
Clinks, they changed. The Burning Barrage is now, instead of Strafe, it kind of works like a Drow's ability. Hey, Maria. So that'll be interesting. Which, to be fair, was a good skill for you to improve anyways. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Matt not dying? Yes. It's always a good skill, Wind Sigil.
Okay, so here's Crystal Maiden now. So her base attack speed was reduced from 115 to 100. So now she attacks slower.
Okay.
So that's going to be harder for you to get denies on creeps and the last hit creeps.
Ooh, freezing field though.
So your mana cost was reduced from Crystal Nova, so that's good. So now you'll have more mana in fights.
Yep.
In your freezing field, the explosion distribution is now more even across its radius. So before it was literally just a random
Cloud.
Yeah. So if it could just hit one side constantly. Now it will hit it more evenly.
I love that. So my ult is pretty much when she like goes like this, it's gonna be more evened out to create more damage.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So that's cool. Now the shard now also increases total explosions by 20%. So that means that if you have the shard now, that's going to do even more damage in your ult field.
Right.
And I think that's huge.
I really want to play her right now.
Yes.
I want to try that out, guys.
I think that would be super useful. So I think now you should always get shard on her.
I always get Magnum Shard.
You get the Agnum Scepter. That's different.
Okay.
So I might say skipping the Agnum Scepter completely
and just
now.
go straight to the shard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can do that.
But the which is cheaper too. So it's only 1,400 compared to 4,000 for the other stuff. So that should help a lot in your weapons.
Let's take a look at like Lena.
Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker now has an Agnum Scepter.
What?
And a shard.
Oh man.
So, they really hurt her with this. So no longer ignores movement restriction abilities. So with Kinetic Field with Disruptor, where it puts up the giant field around them, she could just use her ability to just that one where she spins the hammer around.
Oh, I
and
love
then
that
slams
one.
it.
Yeah.
So she was able to just get out of that field.
Yeah.
Because she could just evade it, which was great for her. But now she can't do that. But now it doesn't get canceled, she gets rooted, so that's good.
Oh, they have also a Magnum Shard on her too.
Yep. So now the shard grants a magic immunity during Starbreaker. So she gets a BKB during Starbreaker now, when she's swinging her hammer around in a circle. Very strong.
She's Thor.
Yeah. Now, her Solar Guardian, they now added an Agnum Scepter. That's the one where she jumps from across the map to somewhere else. They reduced the solar changing to 1 second, and now she stays in the air for 3.5 seconds. While she's in the air now, anyone that's inside that circle that's an ally gets plus 60% evasion.
That's awesome.
And it increases their heal per pulse as she comes down.
That's great.
That's super good. Unfortunately, they removed her Starbreaker at level 22 for the 2 Starbreaker charges to now at level 25. So when she gets the shard, she's able to do 2 in a row, which can last like 6 seconds. And then if she pops a BKB afterwards, she's now magic immune for like 14 seconds. It's crazy good.
Let's look at Lena.
Dazzle they changed a little bit. Now he goes from a multi-hero to a single hero focus, which is good. Death Prophet I really like. I'm going to definitely play her now. They hurt Disruptor big time. They have now basically his formation now is reduced, so it's going to take even longer now for it to work. Doom is kind of meh. Dragon Knight, they hurt a lot. His stun's reduced, his health regen's reduced, all of his extra damage is reduced.
After they just put him on a pedestal in Nemestus. Wow.
Yep. Drow Ranger is a bit better now, so I think Nate's going to be happy about that. Earthshaker, they helped a lot. They increased his mana pool immensely.
So do you think we're going to be seeing more Earthshakers, more Death Prophets, more like these other characters that weren't played very often in these championships, you think?
And that's what the whole point of the patch is. They want to try to get everyone at the same amount of being
Dragon Knight was pretty popular this last in the Animajors.
Yeah.
So I think they decided to debuff him for that reason.
Yep.
I think Lena's going to be hurt pretty bad too because she was pretty popular.
Actually no, she's way better.
How about Enchantress?
Yeah. She didn't get as nerfed as much as I thought she was going to. So that kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping she'd get hurt more. But Enigma's Midnight Pulse got screwed over, so now multiple instances no longer stack. So when he did his Refresher Black Hole ability, you could place it down and do like 10% of the person's max health. You can't do that anymore now. Gyrocopter, I need to try this out. They reworked his homing missile, so now it constantly fires a stun.
I remember Hoodwink being pretty popular too in the Animagers.
Yep. So now she's completely changed. Now she has this decoy ability. Instead of getting a huge boost in movement speed, she now just throws out an illusion of her, and if someone attacks it, it then does the stun ability.
Corey's gonna be happy about Huskar.
I really like Huskar's changes now. So his shard used to hurt him, now it no longer does, and it heals him now for 50% of the damage dealt. And they removed his spell lifesteal, but they gave him extra life break damage, so it's probably worth it. And the big thing is that they gave it another inner fire duration, so he can now break people even longer. Invoker they hurt a lot. Jackro they improved. I'll definitely be playing him more. Juggernaut they hurt his healing ward. Now people can reach it and hit it very easily, even melee. Keeper of the Light got huge buffs. Oh yeah. Kunkka got hurt a bit with his Ghost Fleet, so now it's easier to run away from. But pretty much everything else is the same. Lich, they increased massively. His Sinister Gaze is now faster, less mana, and he lets him cast other abilities.
More people
while
to play him,
channeling
but he wasn't a very played character.
Yeah. Lifestealer's Infest, when it was on a Agnum Scepter, kind of sucked. Now it's really good. Now you can disarm an enemy while you're inside them.
Yeah, you can.
Lena got slightly debuffed. Lion has no changes. Lone Druid is fine. Luna, so now Luna, they increased her stun, which sucks. Also, the Shard Glaive's acquisition range was reduced, which also blows. But she now has the ability to reduce the glaive damage reduction, so now she does more damage. And instead of +8 all stats, it gives her global Luna Blessing to everyone. And then you can increase it. So now at level 25, she can give everyone on the map like +50 damage extra. It's super good. They finally changed to Shard Wolves to now be a lot better. I'm really happy with that one. I might play Lycan now too. Especially if going with a push-heavy lineup. I really like Mars's changes. They now made his Bulwark much better. But the big thing is that they gave him a 1.5 seconds of God boost slow, which I think is going to make him really strong. Meepo, they changed for his reworked shard. Now Meepos can throw each other at enemies.
Yeah! I want to see that, Robbie. You're playing Meepo.
Yes. Miranda, they changed. Her Sacred Arrow does a little bit less, but her Starstore damage does a lot more at her level 25.
Monkey King.
Monkey King is amazing now. Not only is he faster hopping from tree to tree, he steals more life from everyone, so now he gets even more health. His shard I never really used, but apparently now he can.
I want to see you do Monkey King now.
Yeah, I absolutely will. They also changed to now have his strike stun be even longer, which is real good. Morphling, they really hurt, but it's fine because no one likes him. Naga Siren, they made her much stronger now. Now her Song of the Siren heals allies for 5% max HP per second, and I think it lasts for 5 seconds, so that's 25% max HP she can heal for everyone in a fight. Crazy. And now her Riptides do a little bit more higher chance and everything like that. Nature's Prophet they made better, which doesn't make sense to me, but okay. Necrophos is way better. I'm going to be playing him more. Nick Sasson, they even reduced even more because he sucks.
No, I like the Beetle.
Yeah, no. I know. Ogre Magi, they reduced his mana cost for this, which is awesome. He's going to be much more of a pain in the butt. Remember I was telling you about for Omni Knight, his Hammer of Purity was really good? now they removed all the special abilities, so now it's no longer good. Which really sucks. I was going to play him more, but not anymore. Oracle, they did meh too. Outworld Destroyer, his Arcane Orb now affects Roshan. So he is now a top contender to fight Roshan now. I would say you might even be able to do it at like level 2 or 3 with him if you get extremely lucky and you had a tank. Also, his Astral Imprisonment now allows allies to run away. That's huge. So now they are visible, but they're untargetable and can't perform any other actions. That's huge in fights. Now, the problem is that a lot of people aren't going to read about this, and then you're going to use it on an ally, and the ally's just going to stand there because they can't assume that they can't do anything. Pangolier, they changed. His Lucky Shot no longer slows enemies, and now it's a shield crash. I really like that change. Now, with that, he'll be able to have a more constant slow on enemies. And it increases the armor reduction. So, does more damage and now has the ability to slow easily.
Hear that, nerds? You gotta change your whole lineup.
Yep.
Actually, I don't need to change too much.
Not too much.
I just have to tweak.
Yeah.
I don't have to rework. Like, some people have to have rework. They're like Dragon Knight players.
Yep.
All those players are really going to have to rebuild. Learn to rebuild their characters again.
Yeah.
Their heroes, which sucks because they spent so many years playing those characters.
No, that's the fun part. Yeah. I find at least, because now it feels like a whole new game again.
What a nerd.
So now we have the Scepter cooldowns is reduced and it increases even more illusions. It's crazy how many illusions now he'll get. But I don't think it'll make that big of a change because no one really gets Acronym Scepter. Puck, they made a little bit better. In some areas, a little bit worse. I think he's pretty much the same.
Bert's Leviticus the Third.
Yes. Pugna, they hurt a lot.
No, Nate is our Pugna.
His Nether Ward no longer has a mana reducing aura, which really sucks. And now additional heals 2 hits whenever it triggers. I'm not sure what that means. I'm thinking that means for 2 hits for its max health, but we'll have to see. But they did make his 15 tel better. So we'll see. They changed Queen of Pain around. Now Queen of Pain Shadow Strike, her first ability, now heals her every tick. It does less damage now, but it does heal her. So that's interesting. And instead of Spell Lifesteal, they now gave her more damage. I think that's a huge change for her. That's going to make her really strong. Razor, they finally fixed the dumb thing about his ult. Now it applies its armor reduction before applying the damage, so now it does way more damage than like it was supposed to from the very beginning. Ricky they made better, which I feel he doesn't need to be made better at all. Rubik they changed a bit, so now dealing massive damage.
Rubik.
Yeah, now instead of dealing more damage in fights, he deals more damage reduction. So that seems more like a support now, so I think that's good. Sand King, they changed a lot to now make his Sandstorm better, but replaces a lot of his damage per epicenter pulse is now a shard instead of an actual level 10 ability.
Got it.
So now he has to pay more money, basically, to be the same. Shadow Demon this time. Shadow Fiend they changed. His shard now is now an attack that consumes a soul, granting your next attack 170% crit with a free second cooldown. Additionally, enemies killed grants an extra soul. So it allows you to do even more damage with more souls you have. So,
oh, wow.
I like that. Also, instead of the Shadow Raise damage here, they replaced it with an additional Fear Slow, and they removed the movement speed with Shadow Raise. So, very good. I think I'll be playing him more. Shadow Shaman, they hurt a lot, but this big level 20 talent replaced with Hex breaks units now. So if there's a Bristleback on the enemy team and you use Hex on him, his ability to shoot all his quills out is gone. It's super nice. This could be a game changer. I can see him being played almost all in every program if there's a Bristleback now. So then Silencer got changed. I don't know about it. I'll have to see. We'll have to try it out.
Yeah.
Skyrap is a little bit better. Slardar is They changed him back to the way he was, which is much slower, which I think is good. Slark, they made a lot better. His level 20 ability now gives him 1 agi per offensive stat.
Snapfire got a good increase on something.
Yeah.
Mortimer kiss you.
Yeah.
I love Mortimer. If we're gonna get a bearded dragon, we should name him Mortimer.
Okay. But yeah, now she's a lot better. I really like the changes they gave her. Sniper, they made better. His taking no longer has True Strike, but it now has a 100% headshot chance, so that's real good. Spectre, they reworked, so now he fires a spectral dagger all the time, and now his dagger gets more buffed, so I think that's good. Spearbreaker's weird. They removed a lot of his abilities that grant him bonus movement speed, but then they replaced it with talents that grant him bonus movement speed instead. So now a Scepter, which gave him 175 bonus, is now just a level 20 talent to do it. So he gets a Scepter for free now.
Got it.
So,
anybody have any questions? It's a lot to take in.
Yes. And sorry, I'm going through it fast because I want to play games. It's better to see it for most of it.
I want to play a game too.
Yeah.
I hardly ever get to play a game. I think you're losing momentum, baby.
It's okay. Storm Spirit increases the static remnant damage. Super nice. Sven got even better. Techies. Their damage got reduced. Good. But they increased more damage to buildings, so they had to be more of a team player. Templar, they made a little bit worse. Terrorblade, they hurt a lot. They reduced his metamorphosis.
Yeah, it needed to happen though.
Yes, I agree. Tidehunter, they hurt. Tidehunter has better mana regen now, but they reduced his armor per bleh. The bonus damage has been removed, but they now have a 50% chance to proc Anchor Smash on attacks. So he can do more smashes. So we'll see. Tibber Saw, they reduced a lot, which is good. Teaker, they completely reworked. They removed his March of the Machines and now gave him Defense Matrix. So they swapped out the Shard ability for one of his things.
Got it.
I think he's going to be super crap now and completely worthless to play. But we'll see. Tusk, they reworked. I like his Shard a lot better now. I could see.
I never see anybody playing Tusk, so
you will definitely see it more now with this change. Underlord, they changed back his ultimate with a scepter to back the way it was. We'll see if that actually is useful. Nether Swap for Vengeful Spirit does now swaps the ally to take almost 50% less damage. So that's really good. Venomancer, they also changed, so now Venomancer has hold on, because I'm talking. I don't want to eat it while I'm talking. They increased it now from regular damage to now max health damage, so he's going to be way better late game. Void, they made a little bit better. Warlock, they made a little bit better. Weaver, Wind Ranger, they now gave a whole new ability. She now is able to make like a small tornado anywhere on the map, and it pushes everyone away.
whoa.
Yeah, Winter Wyvern, they changed around a bit, but nothing too substantial. Witch Doctor now does less damage per enemy hit, but does more damage per bounce, so pretty much the same. And then Zeus, finally, they gave him a 325 range AoE lightning bolts instead of spell lifesteal. So I think that'd be super useful.
Tonight is a good night for everybody to use their hero requests.
Yes, if anyone wants to see me play any new hero and give them a try.
Or me.
Let us know.
Or me.
Or you. Okay, are you ready to play a game?
Yeah, let me get I'm already have my computer on, so let me get set up.
Sounds good.